It's Buck D and Shondeen, a show to be forever, a show that'll do whatever our viewers desires. It's Buck D and Shondeen, a show of perfection, an object of affection to quench our viewers' fire, completely free from infection, to be used at our viewers' discretion, waiting only for your direction. It's Buck D and Shondeen.
I'm tired. There ain't nothing to do. We can't go nowhere. This Rona ain't it, man. Oh, hold on, girl. Let me play you this new album I just bought.
Yeah, it's going double balled up. Aluminum Foil and Cover Your Mouth Productions proudly presents 2020 COVID Hits. The quintessential sounds that got us through the Rona. Robert Isley and the Isley Brothers. Patti LaBeouf and Michael McDonald. Damn, I should have thought of this shit. The sultry sounds of Buck Rawls and much, much more.
You'll never find.
Yes, you get 5011 of the only coronavirus ballads and hits ever recorded.
The ones who protect you.
Not sold in any store, bodega, swap meet, flea market, trunk, or outlet. This exclusive internet offer is available only here and only now.
Eggshells, if they ain't 6 feet away, told me that I got.
You get Mary J. Buck. The incomparable Buck Pendergrass.
Forget about a quarantine. Ain't no COVID in my place.
Buck 12.
COVID-19. We can't go home cause we can't go outside.
And a soulful Buck Green.
Love the stimulants. Yeah. Something that'll pay off my phone. And I can buy some new Nikes.
And a gang of more songs that you ain't know was COVID classics.
COVID got me tripping in my home, so stay your ass home.
Remember, this limited ensemble is not to be streamed on any platform.
Go back to the days that sports was on.
Operators are standing by to take your money. Order now before the sounds of COVID hits get away.
Yes, girl. What is this? That's that COVID hit.
To order your copy of 2020 COVID Hits, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-ARONAS. That's 1-800-327-6627. Or rush $49.58 plus $80.13 in shipping and handling to COVID Hits. BS Box 6969, Department X, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87109. Operators are standing by. Call 1-800-ARONAS. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call now. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, WIC vouchers, and food stamps are all accepted.
Baby, you gotta let me borrow this. You gotta get your own.
It is another Tuesday at the Buck D and Shondeen show. I am Buck Dangerous.
And I'm Shondeen.
And we are back again, folks. This show is going to be a little different. This is going to be a little different show. We're going to have someone in.
We're taking the funny hats off today, guys.
Well, not all the way off.
Yeah.
Not all the way off. We're going to get a little serious because, you know, the talk of the town, the talk of the state, the talk of the nation is COVID-19. And I know when we started the show, you know, we wanted to give you guys like a little comedy relief from that.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to talk about the whole situation. Then you mix that in with Shondeen being the
conspiracy
buff.
Yeah.
You are the biggest conspiracy buff that I've ever met.
I like it.
It's amazing all this stuff that you hit me with. So we're gonna dive into the COVID-19. I call it the Rona conspiracy when it comes to Albuquerque and the numbers.
Yeah, we want to get just a little more personal with
Yeah,
Albuquerque
yeah.
for sure, and just expose some possible truths.
Well,
really.
we'll see. We'll see. The thing is, what makes it a hot button issue is because you can go anywhere and everybody's talking about this. From the either you're siding with the governor or you don't like the governor. They're even protesting at the Roundhouse about this, and it's businesses are closing. You have the unemployment.
Right.
People are upset. People are getting paid more than regular workers on unemployment. Then you have the stimulus check. Then you tie into people not being able to go anywhere. Their businesses are closing, their jobs. So it's a big deal. Everybody's talking about it. So we wanted to get it directly from the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
and who could do that for us except for Shondeen?
I know.
You know everybody.
I do.
You know everybody.
I get people. They call me. They text me. They hit me up online.
Yeah.
All the time, and it's just overwhelming. So it's time that we gotta take the funny hat off and start addressing these people because they got something to say.
I don't even like calling it conspiracy theory because to me, just as when I hear conspiracy theory, I'm turned off. I'm like, okay, what outlandish stuff are we talking about?
In order to be a conspiracy, it's like it's got to be nobody knows about it. The fact that this is something that everybody suspects, it's not really a conspiracy. It's more like a hidden truth.
It's unspoken. It's unspoken things.
The stuff nobody talks about. Yeah,
Not even long ago, the whole notion of aliens and all this stuff was conspiracy theory. Did you see this? That it came out that the Pentagon says there are unidentified objects that was not made on Earth, and they confirmed it. I
saw that.
Did you see that?
It said not on Earth.
Not on Earth. Where?
Well, that's the thing that's weird about it because it has to be on Earth. It has to be made on Earth.
No, it don't. If you believe what we've been told not to believe, that people have been insinuating for decades, it makes sense to me. So it's so crazy how now it's flip-flopped. Yeah. How you're like, what? It's got to be here, and I'm all the way in. I'm in because
it's because of what I know because of the conspiracy theory. So here's what they're saying behind the scenes.
Okay. So now that I believe in one, now you're gonna tell me it's not true.
No, it's true, but they're saying that it's not made on Earth, and they are made on Earth. The ships that they're talking about or whatever. This is how it comes into play. They're saying the human race. Here's what the conspiracy is. The human race is enslaved in mining enslavement, and we've been mining.
Now you got
gold and copper.
Now you got me off left field.
For the ships, and the ships are made here, mined, and then taken out.
You are so deep into this.
This is what they're saying.
This is what they're saying. This is how I took it. Since all of this, everyone's consumed with Trump, COVID-19, and all this other stuff. Now they can say, okay, now we can give them sprinkle some little truth that we wasn't able to tell them because it would have blew their minds. Because think about it, we're living in a truth right now. If you told us this 365 days ago, we'd have been like, man, shut up. What are you talking about?
We wouldn't have cared because the focus nobody would have,
Well, not even that. I'm just saying, if you take what we're living in right now and told it to us last year, nobody would have believed it.
Oh, yeah.
If we'd have been like, this time next year, you can't go nowhere, businesses will be closing, unemployment get $600 more.
It's scary.
And all of this stuff. So I feel like the government said, while we have all of this stuff that's happening, we can slide this. And we got UFOs up under their nose, and nobody would care.
Yeah, and killer bees. Now we got the mad hornets, or what are they? What are they?
I ain't gonna go that far.
Murder hornets.
I ain't gonna go that far. But so you guys stay tuned, man, because we have a guest. We're keeping him. Say that word again. Under I can't say it. My lips. I got too many lips to say it.
Anonymity.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. Low key.
Nobody can see.
Low key.
We want to keep his identity a secret, and it's just real, y'all. This isn't fake. This isn't someone we have sitting in.
He's still employed for the hospital and stuff, so it's very important.
Right. We have to blur. He's actually came here on his lunch break, so we have to blur out the business on the shirt, all of that. So this is real. This is coming straight from someone who's dealing with COVID patients, COVID numbers, COVID facilities, hand in hand in the city. So y'all will see. I want you guys to, when you see this, we want you to share this. We want you to comment. Give us your thoughts, because I always say this. I take the heartbeat of the city by going onto the news.
Right.
The news, just social media stories, and looking at the comments.
Oh yeah.
And this is the type of stuff that I see. But as for me, when I see that, I'm like, these people are crazy, man. What are they? They just pulling this out the sky.
Yeah, like where do they get this from? We actually have an actual source with actual numbers who actually saw with his own eyes.
Yeah. So you guys stay tuned. Let us know how you feel. And actually, it's just a precursor to what we have not only this week, but next week as well. Shondeen's got all the people in the know with the conspiracy theories.
We're gonna go over none other but.
You want to tell them?
We'll both say it. 1, 2, 3.
Tom Hanks. We're going to talk about Tom Hanks. I know that's one of my top 5 actors of all time. So this is going to get a little personal for me.
Yeah,
y'all stay tuned, not only to this show, also next week, next Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. You know where to find us, Comcast Channel 26.
Hi everyone. Today we have a very special show because we've had overwhelming responses with people reaching out.
Yes.
Due to the COVID-19 truth in Albuquerque.
Right. Actually, we've had a lot of statewide questions, but we're gonna keep it here into the city of Albuquerque. For now. And like you said, it's about the COVID-19 numbers. What's actually going on behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, and the truth within the hospital. The hospitals,
plural, not just one.
And we finally have hands-on information and the truth. So it's really important that we get this out, and we have a special guest who shall remain nameless.
Yes, nameless and faceless.
Nameless and faceless for his own reasons.
Yes.
For protecting his anonymity.
I'm glad you said that word, because
I was rehearsing.
I was
going to
say we're going to keep him. I was going to say we're going to keep him a secret, but I like that word.
Yeah, right.
So,
can you tell us your name?
I told you before, I wouldn't tell you that.
Okay.
All right.
Can you tell us what you do at all of the hospitals? Is it all of the hospitals, or?
I told you, I can't tell you that either. Okay.
Well, hold on. What can we talk about? Because, I want to get to the bottom of it, because like we were talking about earlier, this was Shondeen came to me and was like, I have somebody on the inside who has a lot of information about the numbers. So what do you have to tell us when it comes to the real COVID numbers in Albuquerque?
I can tell you the real COVID numbers are fake.
Whoa.
They're fake. I've been in some hospitals and the numbers don't match the people who are sick.
So are we talking about the official numbers that come out weekly, or are we just saying just off of what people think on social media?
What I can say is the numbers that they show weekly, walking through the hospitals, they're trying to think of how I can word this without anything going bad on myself. But we'll say each hospital has one dedicated floor, and on that dedicated floor is only about 4 rooms.
Wow.
So
I have a question about that. So if you have 4 rooms on one floor, and if they're talking about, do they do social distancing, or is it just people packed up in the 4 rooms, or what?
there's no social distancing. They have the rooms quarantined off, but they leave the doors open, and I can tell you that as far as who is exposed, they don't really keep an eye on that.
Whoa.
Do you think COVID-19 is real? Because there's a lot of people out there
Oh
that
yeah,
say
that's a good question.
it's not real. There's a lot of people out there saying the whole thing is fake.
Right.
They're doing it to get a Bill Gates vaccine in. That's the only reason.
Well, they also say that hospitals are getting paid.
Right.
You know, that's why we're bringing in people from Arizona to New Mexico.
Yeah, I heard about
So-
that too. Have you seen other? I mean, I know they probably don't, being that there's only 4 people.
Well, let's get to your question
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
the big one. Do you believe COVID-19 is real or fake?
with what you've seen and everything that you've seen.
COVID-19 is definitely real. I've heard the coughs. I've seen the coughs. Matter of fact, the patient coughed on myself.
Oh, now you want to tell
Well,
us.
actually, I wasn't supposed to tell you. Okay. But it was very aggressive, and they definitely had it, and it was rough, and that patient died about two weeks ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Are you seeing a similarity in the patients? I want to know: are they healthy people? Are they unhealthy?
yeah.
What do they look like? What are the people? I want to know
Yeah.
the people who are dying, the people who are actually in there, who are at risk. I mean, the truth, for us.
The older patients definitely look to be suffering more. When speaking with one of the staff members, they discharge about 2 patients a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, wait, before we go any further, if they're getting discharged, how long were they there?
About 48 hours max.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now, Shondeen, this is stuff I don't know. I think when I hear of someone having it, they're there.
I think
they're
like
there
I'm
for
thinking the 2 week, 48 days.
Yeah,
48 days is
yeah,
what
they're
I
there
thought.
for a while.
So, I mean, what is all these? I always see all these helicopters going back and forth to downtown.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I mean, and they're saying, oh, they're transporting patients.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of, transportation for only a tiny bit of people. I wonder now that this is kind of what the F are those about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I want to ask our guests. So in just your regular terms, tell us how you feel as someone who's dealt with COVID about the numbers that we're reporting.
I think they're exaggerated to make the people do what they want. They're pushing people to get tested. Personally, I feel the tests are what is making people sick.
Really?
I've heard that. I've heard that as well.
What?
I've heard on a conspiracy theory, of course, I heard that there was a bacteria on the test, and then that's why Donald Trump went national and said, "Let's slow down the test. Stop distributing the test so we can change the numbers."
Really?
But that's what they're saying. I don't know how true it is.
Okay.
You know,
That's why we have this show, because
this is.
Shondeen loves the conspiracy theories.
I love a good one, and it's a new one every week.
I always like to keep the level head, but to hear from someone who's actually in the middle of all this, that's crazy. So I'm taking from this, you're saying the COVID numbers are inflated in Albuquerque, and that's based off of the hospitals and what you're seeing.
Yeah. No. Well, I wasn't supposed to say that. But I think it's a bit of a coincidence if somebody gets in a car accident and dies. They die from COVID. They'll still
Right.
Well, Shondeen, you have outdone yourself.
I found
You found a good one. So now, it makes me curious. You know, I know usually we have a lot of things that we talk about and joke about on the show.
Wait. You know, we forgot to ask him. Why does he think?
Oh yes, go ahead.
But why do you think the swabs have COVID on them? Like, I heard it from the conspiracy theorists, but since you work there or are associated with this, what do you know anything behind the scenes, or where do you get your information? Because I get mine behind the scenes. So.
Well, traveling to work every day, there was a period where everybody was staying home. Most of the folks were staying home. Traffic was light. Everybody was quarantining, social distancing, and the numbers were still going up. So the only place they were really going was to get tested.
Wow. I didn't think of it. All right. So there you guys have it, man. Straight from the horse's mouth. He doesn't look like a horse, but all you see is a black a black square right now. But Shondeen, this is dope. This is some good information. I'm curious to see how people will receive this, because this is a hot button issue. You know, there's a lot of people on one side, a lot of people on the other side. So to get someone who's actually in there,
and in all the hospitals,
right?
This is a this is a gem for us. It was telling us the truth with his own eyes and tells us what he sees on a day-to-day basis. You're not going to find this anywhere. This is it. I have a feeling the news is probably going to get a hold of me to get a hold of you.
Don't get a hold of me, because y'all don't want me on the news.
Call Buck. Larry Barker, call Buck.
Bobby Larry Barker. No, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. More of the Buck D and Shondeen show.
Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden.
Shondeen, after hearing that,
Was that wild?
that was crazy. That was crazy. Now I know how you feel.
You know why? Because I'm a little disappointed. Let me tell you
why. Why?
Let's do the reason why is I'm expecting him. I really was hoping that he was gonna say, "There's no such thing as COVID. It's a lie," but it's the truth. There is COVID.
Yeah,
COVID
there's
is real.
COVID. There's
I still
COVID.
have to wear my mask.
Yes.
I still have to slow the spread.
Yes.
The governor is still correct for doing everything that
Right.
she's doing, and apparently she's doing it right. I can't get mad.
Right. So
But the numbers are lower than what they are. So that's one thing that we
I'm very skeptical of everything, just because, on one hand, it could be true. It could be that the numbers are lower, but they report it higher to make people to scare us into not making the numbers higher. Because think about it, we're in between Arizona.
As a preventative, maybe.
There you go. We're in between Arizona and we're in between Texas. Two of the biggest states with the biggest outbreaks of COVID.
I see.
But the problem is we don't have the budget of Arizona and we don't have the budget of Texas.
Right.
So if we get hit like those two states, we're in trouble.
And then if
we're in trouble.
If we expose this truth and they find out how low all these houses cost and everything, we're going to get everybody
Everybody's
moving over
coming.
here.
Everybody's coming.
And then they'll bring the COVID over here.
Now, the one thing I have to disagree with, that when he said it, I was like, I hope the cameraman didn't get in my face, because he said he thinks that the people that are getting tested are getting COVID from the test.
That's not the first time I heard that. According to conspiracy theory,
That's a bunch of BS to me.
You think so?
Yes, that's.
I think it's likely.
Who's how? Tell me why.
Help
me understand
if
that.
there's a piece of bacteria on there, I don't know how long a piece of bacteria can live, but if they put it on there,
you know how much it takes for, like, let's balance this COVID on this Q-tip and let's shove it up their nose.
Yeah.
And then, no, I think that's a bunch of, because, okay, like how we were saying earlier, this whole story about someone going to get tested, the lines are too long, they go home, and then they get a call and they say, you've been tested positive.
Yes.
Now, this is I take this back to these stories. Remember the stories that we used to get back in the day where you could hear, it's the same story of like a guy that everybody, like the boogeyman or somebody.
Yeah, it's an old,
And I think these stories, because you see them on social media, you never have any proof, you never have any names, you never have any facilities. So that's why I think a lot of these conspiracy theories, where I think it can be dangerous, because you have people like us, people who have the internet, but I think with the state of New Mexico, there's a lot of rural areas who don't have the technology. They can hear this and they're gonna run with it. Right. And I think that's where education can be damaging if it's not the right education.
Right.
Do you believe that though? Do you believe the whole, hey, I went to go get a test, and they called me and said I was positive, but I never took the test.
I don't believe it, but here's the thing. It makes me want to go over there and try it myself.
Try it.
I would like to go, me and you to go. It'll be fully televised. That way there's no line. We will do the same thing that they did. They waited for 2 hours. They signed in, but they bounced out right before.
Right.
We'll see if we get something back in the mail.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. The problem with that is we're probably going to have to lie to get a test. Because now, you know,
well,
in order to
Hawaii,
get I know, but we have to get one. We have to get one, and I already have my lie concocted. Because, you know, they changed it to where if you don't have symptoms, you can't go to the hospital and get it. So I'm going to be like, I'm coughing, I have a fever. I don't have it now, but I had it last night.
Yeah.
And we'll see. It's just, I think these conspiracy theories can do a lot more harm in a state like New Mexico than a state like Arizona or Texas or anywhere else that has a bigger population.
Right.
Because here,
everybody believes everything.
Man, I got people telling. You remember? Shout out to Josh Fournier, the skinwalkers and the chupacabras and all this stuff.
That's real too.
I actually during the quarantine, think about this. I did an actual 2-hour podcast with an actor who's from New Mexico, and he quit acting because he wanted to follow and find out about Bigfoot in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this guy believes it. He sent me documentaries. He's actually made a documentary, an award-winning documentary. And I believe a lot of this stuff is informative, but if you tell it to the wrong people who's not educated, I think it does a lot more damage.
Yeah,
it does a lot more damage.
Yeah, you got to be able to be. With me, I love.
You do it for entertainment purposes.
I do entertainment strictly, and that's because if it wasn't for stuff like that, I would have nothing, bro.
No, don't do that. She don't have the show. She don't have nothing.
Well,
no, because
I do my jokes based on these things.
But
so,
I think it's good because it does open your eyes to things that may or could happen. But to say that there's this big conspiracy and people are going to hospitals, getting tested, and they're given COVID, like that's like we have a lot of stuff to lose.
I think there's only one way to find out. Like I can't believe him. You know what I mean? He says that.
Right.
He said that's what he thinks, not what he knows.
Right.
So there's a difference there, and there's a lot of conspiracy theorists who say that. Mm-hmm. And there's only one way to find out. We got to get that swab and put it under the scope. Or have a doctor.
Well, first of all, you're not going to get a swab. They're not going to just be like, what you're saying is we go get a test and right before they put it in your nose, I steal it or something.
That won't be the first step we pull them.
I know. Is that all I got to steal? A Q-tip? Girl, I done stole whole boxes of Q-tips. But
you know what's weird is they mail those tests in everywhere else. I don't know why they haven't mailed it. Why did we not have that option here?
And then also, it takes a while to get the test back. Get your results back.
Yeah.
So I the people that I know, they got it within 48 hours, but now that everyone's going to get it, they're not getting it back in a timely manner. We'll see, man.
About the test too, it's not the thing. He said that the test could be that it has COVID on it. Now that's not likely because the virus dies, within a few. It's been on that thing for a while. So
right.
No, I'm not buying that. However, I do think the tests are inconclusive. In Africa, in South Africa, this was worldwide news. They tested a tangerine, a papaya.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember the whole
They all came up positive.
Right.
So it's either the tests are inconclusive or they're faulty.
But I'll say this:
they don't, or they have COVID on them, or they're putting it down as that they have it anyway.
When's the last time America did anything that South Africa's done? Like, we got a president who don't want to do nothing with Africa. So I see all of this stuff. It makes you think, but at the end of the day, for me, it comes down to common sense. Yeah. So going back to the story about us waiting in line and we don't, I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Shondeen, we're going to get paid.
I hope we get paid.
This show is going to be nationwide syndicate because we're going to get paid. We're going to sue. It's going to cause mental anguish, mental distress, all of that stuff. So keep y'all's fingers crossed that we go get a test and then we don't get it and then they tell us we're positive because we all going to be paid. How about that?
I hope so.
Let's do that. Well, y'all won't be paid. We will.
It's our payday. We'll share.
Yeah.
We'll do some at the
Yeah.
kitty bar.
Y'all stay tuned to us every Tuesday night, 10:30 p.m. Comcast 26, the Buck D and Shondeen Show. Tune in.